What is up, guys? EA Sports has just released the first footage from Madden NFL 16, featuring newly announced cover athlete Odell Beckham Jr. Complementing the new trailer is the announcement of this year's feature list, which is highlighted by a new passing mechanic dubbed Total Control Passing, along with new wide receiver and defensive back controls. So the question becomes, how do the feature descriptions frame our understanding and analysis of the limited footage found in the trailer? Well, let's do what we do best, examine the hell out of this thing, and analyze all that we can. But let's be honest, there's not a whole lot here. But that's not to say that there isn't anything we can discern. In this first clip, Rob Gronkowski snags the ball at its highest point in the air. The defensive back's arms are entangled with Gronkowski's momentarily before he's able to haul the pass in. Whether this entanglement is a scripted two-player interaction, or whether the two players are acting independently but simultaneously influencing one another, remains to be seen. But the clip does support Madden's claim for improved wide receiver/defender interactions. According to Amazon's feature descriptions, receivers and defenders deliver the most authentic exchanges to date with new press and zone chuck interactions, contextual hand fighting, and a variety of two-man interactions at the catch point, including pass interference penalties, tip balls, knockouts, and simultaneous possession catches. The featured clip certainly lends evidence to this claim for the new two-man interactions at the catch point, and as we'll see soon enough, it does appear as though these two-man interactions are not simply improved animations that contain two players, as has already been included in previous Maddens, including Madden NFL 10's Rip Swat animation that comprised two players acting in accordance with a single predetermined script. Instead, it looks as though each player is acting independently of one another, with each individual animation affecting the animation of their contender. But before we get there are three things I need to point out. Two good and one bad. The good, notice how, as Gronkowski pulls the ball in, the defender's eyes turn to meet the football in dynamic fashion. It's an aesthetic change, but one that provides greater authenticity to player animation. But more substantively, notice how the wide receiver running a crossing pattern in the background doesn't attend to Gronkowski after making the catch. Because the wideout is not looking in the ball's direction, but rather continuing with his route, he is appropriately unaware of his teammate in the opposite part of the field. Just as it should be. Finally, small critique here, but take note of the sideline. It doesn't look changed at all from last year, or even the year before it. So much for living, breathing worlds. Moving on, Arizona cornerback Patrick Peterson makes a play on the ball at its highest point. Great interception. But let's focus in on the wide receiver Jermaine Kearse, who, for the first time ever, clearly looks to play the defender. Instead of both receiver and defender simply jumping for the ball in the air with a pre-canned animation, the receiver here places his hand on Peterson's back, as if to disrupt his timing on the interception, knowing he can't make a play at the ball himself. As Peterson comes down with the pick, he successfully stiff-arms Kearse, a seamless transition between catch and stiff-arm animation. The same can be said for the receiver, whose arms remain outstretched even after Peterson picks it off. It's as though his hand movements act independently from his upper body animation, allowing him to place his hands on Peterson's back while better positioning his body to make a play on the ball. Madden has always lacked proper transitional animations, but this truly looks superb. Okay, third clip here. Antonio Brown of the Steelers makes a nice back shoulder catch against his defender. It's a nice catching animation, and the back shoulder throw also correlates to Madden 16's new Total Control Passing feature, which reads, place the ball where only your receiver can get it, with body relative throws including high point, low point, back shoulder, and the ever popular touch pass. But most importantly, the clip illustrates how the catching animation acts independently from the body and even hand animations. Notice how the defender's left hand interacts with Brown's right. Unable to make a clean swipe at the ball, the defensive back plays the defender instead, his hand placement subsequently altering Brown's in dynamic fashion. The catch animation plays separately from the player jockeying. And again, based on the feature descriptions, it won't be a stretch to infer that these hand-fighting animations play independently from other bodily animations. So in this last clip, we see cover athlete Odell Beckham Jr. make his now signature catch over the defender. It's a nice animation certainly, but that's not what's important. So let's key in on the defensive back, who attempts to go for the interception, but is denied by Odell Beckham's body tumbling over him as he hauls the ball in. The key takeaway here? Yep, you guessed it. Physics are undoubtedly a key factor between two players in the air. This sequence here is no animation. Rather, it's the physics engine that dictates player animation when receivers and defensive backs go at it. Ultimately, this is a clear indicator that the Infinity engine has evolved to impact not only tackling animations, but receiver and defender interactions as well. Now, if we could only get physics implemented in the trenches, then we'll really be on a roll. Okay, there you have it. Our first in-depth look at Madden NFL 16. There's not a lot to see, but there's certainly a lot to like. Madden season is officially upon us, but I'm just getting started. Clearly, there's a huge focus on receiver and defensive back interactions, and while our analyses here certainly require further evaluation via more footage, our brief outlook is, at the very least, encouraging. So make sure to follow my channel during the months leading to release for more meticulous Madden analysis and critique. Madden NFL 16 arrives on August 25th for the Xbox One, PS4, PS3, and Xbox 360. Finally, if you liked the video, please drop a like, and if you really liked it, subscribe for weekly gaming content. And of course, make sure you share the video with your fellow Maddenites. All aboard my Madden train, cause I'm about to roll. And with that, I'm out.